Hey everyone. So the novel is about a bare-knuckle fighter who does a bunch of illegal things and winds up in prison, right? Is what's supposed to happen. And this is the story of his first fight. He was essentially kidnapped and kind of brought into this situation, and he stands to win thousands of dollars. The front door clicks shut behind me. I yank off the bandana and squint until my eyes get used to the orange parlor glow of lamps and a muted chandelier casting patterns on the hardwood and wallpaper. The house is old, with thick moldings and framework. A broad carpeted staircase curves up into darkness, framed by gold-painted banisters. It seems impossibly huge inside. The maroon drapes in the sitting room match the stairs. Two men in tuxedos sit in thick leather chairs smoking cigars and looking at us with the air of having been interrupted, until one recognizes and greets my companion. This is all in Boston, by the way. Winston nods in reply and leads me down the long hall toward a drone of voices. He stops before a gold-painted door and grasps the knob. Here's your massage. Hungry? We'll feed you after the fight, if you're not too mashed up. I must have frowned as he opened the door. Don't worry, you'll do fine. For now, enjoy yourself. Relax. I walk in and he closes the door behind me. A small woman wearing a kimono smiles and gestures toward a bed with a donut-shaped pillow at one end. I look around awkwardly until she takes my hand, leading me to the bed and peeling off my sweatshirt. She hands me a towel and turns away as I strip off my sweatpants and lie face down on the bed. Then there's nothing but the grain of the wood floor underneath and the warm fabric of the bed and the girl's delicate fingers rubbing a scented oil into my back. There's no sound outside the slick shh of my muscles releasing years of tension. Limb by limb, inch by inch, fiber by fiber, my body relaxes under the girl's skilled touch, and I catch myself drooling slightly. There's no telling what the next few hours will bring. I may wind up dead. Guys get killed in street fights all the time, and even bar brawls usually end with two sirens, one screaming toward the hospital and one toward the drunk tank. This is a submission fight. Winston's speech from the car echoes in my ears. In this fight, the winner is the guy who is still standing at the end, however long that takes. You can tap out or go down and not come back up. No gloves, no wraps. Mouthguard required and provided. No one wants to have to clean up broken teeth. No shoes, no shirts, no timeout, no rounds, no bell. Needless to say, Winston's reminder, outside this room, this fight has not happened. No kicking, no biting, no low blows. Hit a guy while he's down, but only if he's still fighting. If you lose, you will never return, never speak to anyone present again. And if I win, we'll see. Right. There will be a referee to stop the fight when appropriate, and bandages, ice packs, and a physician for after the fight. And then plenty of booze and things to drown any pain once the excitement wears off. Even a tough guy feels pain from time to time. You'll learn to love it. I'm already learning to love this massage, the feel of a woman's hands moving slowly across my whole body, rubbing knots and stress out of places I didn't even know were tight until she suddenly makes them looser. The same feeling comes over me, that tingling wave of feeling that I get after the first few miles of running, the runner's high, the thing that makes road work possible day after day. I can feel every piece of my body all fitting together and gelling. I can feel the power in each of my fingers, the electricity running through my veins. I can feel the oxygen flowing to muscles, the commands transmitting from my brain. I can see the fight. I can see my opponent, just ahead of me, glowering at me, unafraid. I can feel my fists tighten into rocks. I can feel a thin smile spread across my face, splitting around a yellow mouthguard. Before it happens, I can see the first movement, a step forward and a hunching of the shoulders. He's throwing a punch. So I duck before he throws and throw my shoulder into his ribs just hard enough to distract him from my fist arcing under his arms toward his face. Pop. I see the life leave his eyes for an instant and I back away to reload. Sweat and blood mingle and fuel the pressing noise of the crowd, which is drowned out when a fist glances off the side of my head. Deafening silence after the impact until sound rushes back. Before it happens, I see myself jumping back to clear my head, hissing breath through the mouthguard and narrowing eyes. Trying to see through the ringing in my ears, pep-talking myself to shake out the sparks in my vision, willing myself past the fear of getting hit again. You'll learn to love it. Calm, quiet on the massage table, I see myself lunging at this bare-chested man, aiming every jolt of anger, speed, power, force, control, love, hatred, instinct, feeling behind the mass of my body. I see myself surprised at how easily his jaw gives under my fist, taken aback at how stiff and hard he falls. Before it happens, I see him hit the floor. I see him bounce. Unsure what to do, I see myself waver, looking for guidance. He doesn't get up. A murmur passes through the crowd. The referee stands staring for a moment before dropping to his knees to watch for a tap-out or unconsciousness. Before it happens, I see my opponent struggle to his knees and haul himself to his feet, shaky, cross-eyed, angry, dizzy and confused, stunned, swinging at the air. Before it happens, I see myself look to Winston, who nods. I see myself swing a brutal left hook, landing it perfectly between his temple and his ear, hear the pop, feel the jar, smell the blood in his eyes. This time he doesn't get up. The doctor feels his pulse, shines a light in his pupils. I see myself turn away. When it's time for the fight, Winston knocks on the door and tells the Thai masseuse to scram. Wearing sweatpants and no shirt or shoes, I walk with him out of the room and down the hall lit by electric wall sconces into what was once a library. A group of men standing around a rough semicircle of crowd control type fences, some smoking cigars, some nibbling at the ends of drinks, some not looking up when we enter. One even continues talking on a phone whose cord disappears around a corner. One or two guys shake their heads distrustfully, disappointed that a replacement fighter has been brought in. These men who never hesitate to hire scab workers when the bottom line checks out. These men feel they're being cheated. These men who have no problem betting thousands on an illegal fight. These men bridle when their rules have been bent. I make eye contact with the doctor in a white lab coat and nod. He nods back almost imperceptibly. Winston escorts me into the makeshift ring, unhooks the connector, and slips in behind it to talk to me. He has a water bottle with him and an ice pack in a bucket. Over the course of a minute or two, the attention gathers on me. Guys in preppy suits, guys in power suits, guys in tuxedos, one or two leaning on canes. You'd almost expect to see the glint of a monocle held in place by a perpetually dubious look. Everybody looking, everybody's evening entertainment in my hands. I stand up straighter, feeling bigger, taller. I can feel the quiet power emanating from these old boys through the fluttering in my stomach, with here and there faces I recognize from TV. I inhale the power as deeply and slowly as I can, concentrating on a rhythm. My opponent appears down the hall. With my breath, I grow bigger, bigger than 6 feet, bigger than 210 pounds, bigger than my fists, bigger than my skin, bigger than my audible heartbeat, every muscle tensed and hardened. The attention in the room leaves me for a moment when the favored contender enters the ring. Then the eyes drift back my way, and I give them a show, standing calmly with my arms crossed, head thrown back in defiance of their sizing up. Screw this guy. There's no reason to be afraid of him. He walks up and shakes my hand hard. The freckles on his shoulders flash red with his pulse. A broad shamrock tattoo, ripped down the middle, crosses his chest. He outweighs me by a good 30 pounds and has longer arms, but long arms can be gotten inside of. These things you learn when you grow up street fighting. Get inside, go nuts, otherwise catch a haymaker and go down. We both hold the shake too long and the release is awkward. A handshake is many things. It's hello, goodbye, acknowledgement, agreement. It's a telling interaction, a meeting of spirits. To mess one up is a tiny tragedy shared by both participants. We step back to our corners and the fight begins. Thank you.